Hi, welcome to this video. In this video I'm going to demonstrate the JAL library for the ADS7843 touchscreen controller, which is made for the PIC microcontroller and programmed with the JAL programming language. So what will be the contents of this video? First, a short introduction. Then the functions provided by this ADS7843 JAL library. Then the hardware that I used for this video and also for the development of this library. A short demonstration of the touchscreen functionality. And then if you want to know more, you can find the references at the end of this video. So this ADS7843 is a touchscreen controller, but there is also a controller called XPT2046 which is a compatible controller, and therefore it can also be used with this library. It uses an SPI-like interface, but it is a little bit deviates a little bit for the standard SPI because the data is written on the rising serial clock, but the data is read on the falling serial clock. The JAL library for this demo is based on an MSP2402 module. This module has a touchscreen using the XPT2046 touchscreen controller, and it has an LCD screen with a width of 240 pixels and a height of 320 pixels. And this video shows the features of this library using a PIC microcontroller. And for controlling the LCD, I'm using the JAL ILI9341 library. So, what does this library do? It translates function calls into serial commands for the ADS7843 controller. And the following functions are provided. You can initialize the serial interface. You can check if the screen is touched, and if it's touched it will return the touchscreen coordinates. There's also a raw function, which means it will return the touchscreen coordinates even when the touchscreen is not touched. There's a function to convert touchscreen coordinates into pixel coordinates for the display. And this conversion also supports any screen rotation that's being used. And if you want, you can recalibrate the touchscreen by overruling some initial calibration settings. For the hardware I'm using the MSP2402 module, which looks like this. It has a touchscreen and of course an LCD. The pinning is as follows. The top pins are used by the LCD display and the bottom ones are used by the touchscreen. For the controller I'm using a PIC 16F18857 which operates at 5V, but you can use any other PIC as long as there's sufficient ROM space and sufficient RAM space. The MSP module operates at 5V, but it has an onboard 3.3V regulator. The interface signals are at 3.3V, so you need level shifters between the interface and between the PIC and the MSP2402. Of course, this is not needed if the PIC is also running at 3.3V. The demonstration starts with a sample program in which you can obtain the touchscreen calibration numbers by touching the top left of the screen and the bottom right. And the numbers that are presented can then be used to overrule the default touchscreen calibration settings. You will then see a simple Done button, and you can activate it by pressing the touchscreen on the button. The second demo is showing the touchscreen coordinates when you touch the screen. These are presented in hexadecimal notation. What you will also see is the converted pixel coordinates in decimal notation. The last demo is drawing lines on the screen by touching the screen, and it will be shown in 4 different screen rotations. If you want to know more about JAL and the programming language, you can visit the JAL website. And if you have questions on how to use JAL or getting started, there's a very good JALlib tutorial available on the website. Or you can visit the JAList Google group and post a question. And for reporting bugs in the library or in the JAL compiler, or for specific requests for libraries like this library, you can visit the JALlib Google group. And all sources, including the sources for the JAL compiler, can be found on GitHub. I hope you liked this video, and thanks for watching.